Chapter 6. Dove and Fighter. Dre, Dre, Dre! It was her mother. Dre's head ached from last night, and her body was finally forcing her to feel every bruise from the staff game. Her right eye refused to open all the way, and everything was stiff. Roma was sprawled on the ground before her, swimming in an ocean of blankets, snoring softly. Dre! Gods of tree and stone, she could wake a statue! Dre cursed, rolling out of the tent. She was still in her mercenary garb. Blue skirt, blue corset. She should have been wearing a linen shirt beneath it, but yesterday had been hot and she hadn't wanted it torn. My child has been beaten and turned into a common army floozy. Mother. Your face! This is why I can't find you a husband. Mother. We've been here for 4 hours unloading wagons and setting up our stall. The market area this year is dreary. Darling, look at you. Really? We're opening at first bell and you have an appointment to finish the fitting for Her Lady Elizabeth, Regent of Eastgate. Fatia Sano announced the regent's name like others might be listening for the opportunity to gossip. This morning? Well, yes. She's here. We're here. The costume you made for her is intended for the hunt on the 8th day of the festival, and it's already the 2nd. I have duties to my guild. This afternoon, I checked. Wash up, dress nicely, and finish your work. You may have tied yourself to that mercenary guild trash. Gods know why your father permits it. But the Sano house puts food on your plate, and half of theirs considering the cost of your training. As long as you're tied to House Sano, you will serve it. The market stall leased to House Sano was more like a small tailor shop from a less affluent district, but the family's reputation elevated it. Dre's mother, sisters and brothers created some of the finest clothing in the empire. Dre's work was decent, but her originality had caught the eye of the Lady Regent. The front of the store was packed with dresses and suits. Models wandered inside and out, displaying the house's wares. Even after opening, Lady Fatia Sano continued adjusting and decorating the space until it became an elaborate haven of luxury and craft. Dre met Her Lady Elizabeth in the back fitting room. The lady had already changed into the outfit Dre had designed. Dre now wore the standard black and silver dress, marking her as a tailor of House Sano. The corset was a light violet, smooth in the front like a shield. Green laces held it tight at each side, and the matching skirt was embroidered in green silk thread. The lady eyed Dre closely. I had heard the rumours. Ma'am? About you. The House of Sano's youngest daughter, Wildcat in a fine dress exposing her small clothes to. She waved her hand. To everyone, I suppose. And tied to a scummy little bottom-feeding mercenary guild. Why couldn't you at least have picked one like Siphis? Now look at you, beaten half to death. The door opened behind them. Dre. Come Lady Fatia's tone was clipped, controlled. Dre followed her through the velvet curtain into the back workroom. The scent of wool and lavender starch hit her like memory. Bolts of fabric stood perfectly stacked. The scissors gleamed. The house was working like a proper machine, except her mother's hands were clenched. A man stood at the counter, dusty, tired, a Sano messenger. He didn't bow to Dre, he bowed to Fatia. Fatia broke the seal and scanned the parchment quickly. Then she froze. Tyvan Akawan is dead. Dre's breath caught. The messenger nodded grimly. They found him early this morning. In the alley beside the Violet Lantern, Fatia pressed her lips together. The Violet Lantern? That's a... She caught herself. It doesn't matter. How awful. I knew his family well enough. I can't imagine what they must be going through. Her eyes flicked to Dre, concern rising. You met him, just last night. And it went so well. Fatia reached for her daughter's hand. which hung limp beside her. Dre said nothing. She remembered his care. His grasp on her arm, his whisper against her cheek. Honour in any world is valuable, Dre. Don't be in a rush to discard what may save you later. Where was that honour for him last night? Dre sat. Her eyes reddened with unshed tears. Fatia shook her head. The violet lantern. Gods, if he were going to die, why there? That's the kind of thing that stains a name. It's shameful. No, Dre whispered. He was in love. Fatia blinked. Of course he was. That men, Dre. No, Dre repeated. It's not shameful. It's a distraction. Fatia frowned. What are you implying? Dre looked down at the letter. He wasn't dumped there. He was found there, which means someone put him there or wanted him to be found. That's not the same as dying in disgrace. That's cleaning up something they don't want discussed. Fatia stiffened. That's a serious accusation. It's not an accusation, Dre murmured. Fatia sighed, sad for her child but unable to spend another moment on the tragedy. Dre. She embraced her sitting daughter. We must go on, Dove. I'm so sorry. And she left back to the front to court sales. She looked down once more at Dre. Something flickered behind her eyes, then she turned, straightened her back, and disappeared into the front room with her sales smile already forming. From the fitting room, Elizabeth spoke without turning. Her fingers traced the embroidery on her bodice, eyes fixed on her reflection. An accusation that could easily be pointed at you, Dre. Or your guild. A marriage like that would ruin your contract. Dre shook her head, sharp. No. The Lady Regent continued. You make clothing for warriors. Dre nodded, gaze lowered, quietly confused. Dre returned to the fitting room to Lady Elizabeth. The lady lifted Dre's chin with a single finger, her smile full of something sharper than kindness. I think it's time I reminded them I'm still a fighter. And so are you, child. I'll take the dress. But you, Dre, you're no dressmaker. A tailor's needle doesn't suit your hand. She studied her for a moment, then added, Because I love your mother, and so I love you. I'll do what I can to protect House Anno, but if you willfully dishonour yourself, seek vengeance unproven, I won't be able to help you. Thank you, my lady. Good. Now let's get this fitting over with. Lady Elizabeth turned to the mirror and waited for Dre to finish her work. Meanwhile, after Dre was rushed from the tent, Roma woke more slowly, washed her face in the basin, and headed to Cade. He always wanted to see her right as she woke up. Cade's tent was completely open this morning. Only the canvas in the back protected his belongings from any sudden rain, but the day was hot and dry. He sat at the old wooden table that moved from camp to camp with them. Come sit, Cade gestured to the chair across from him. Roma sat, pulling the chair up and extending a hand out to her guildmaster. He paused for a moment, looking at her face. Tell me about last night, Cade asked. I drank too much, Roma admitted without hesitation. You shouldn't at all, but I'm not foolish enough to believe that telling you not to will stop you. I'm afraid of this Doom, the man that tossed Dre. Roma changed the subject. You should be. He's the guildmaster of Siphis. You ran into him? Cade asked. Roma explained the encounter in detail, even mentioning Edic and the strange Siphis attack. Could be a coincidence, Cade considered. Did Dre have anything to say about it? I don't really remember. I'll ask her. Meanwhile, we need to continue your training. Cade took her hand in his. Tell me the colour. Green. Good. Now. Cade tried to come up with an image that Roma could describe, but found his mind wandering to the guild debt. 1,840 pieces. We are in trouble. Cade pulled his hand away. No, he declared, then smiled gently. That is only the shadow of worries, yes. But things are in control. That was my fault. Try again. Cade reached out and Raymer held his hand. Cade breathed deep, his mind drifting to an old memory. Raymer. Is that Sen? In her mind, a boy of perhaps 3 clung to Cade's leg. He walked through a pub, the weight of the boy giving him a limp. Then violence. Raymer, startled, tried to pull away. Cade grabbed her hand. Don't flee. Breathe through it. There was a flash of steel. Someone was attacking her. No, they were attacking Cade, years ago. The boy. Attacking me while I have the boy. She was so angry. She could feel her body move, dodge. She could feel a hit blocked. The relief of a strike that landed. Deadly. The boy should have screamed. He clung, eyes closed. Cade's hand rested on his head. Raymer blinked, breathing hard. Breathe deep. Center. Push my memories to the side. I will remember that moment again, Cade instructed, holding her hand tight in his own. Again the experience flooded her. She held it down, away from her mind. It was a battle. The memory wanted to bloom like a flower. She could feel her control was better. At the end she smiled, confident. I did it, she smiled. No, you screamed. No, Raymer shook her head, confused. You did, Cade said sternly, though he didn't seem disappointed. It was better. Go help the others. See me tomorrow for more practice.